there's been some conversation about whether or not young people should actually have a seat at the table, and whether or not youth should be a part of the actual civilian review board. So I would just be curious to hear from you. The right now, the age that we're proposing is 18 to 21, to be fit to serve on the board as a voting member, which means that you would not only just be in the seat, you would actually have an opportunity to vote. And so there's been some questions about what would be the appropriate age, and I'm just curious, what do you think would be the age that's mature enough to sit on this board? And can you tell us why or why not? Do you think 18 to 21 is that mature enough? Do you think that we should be looking at 21 to 25? Like, what are your thoughts?
I definitely think that it's important to have youth in these kind of things, because if we're expecting these people to lead us in the future, then we need to prepare them to lead us, and we need to have them in these conversations to be able to prepare them for, taking up the jobs that will soon be vacant. And yeah, I think 18 to 25 to 21 would be a good age to start.
And so given your testimony, and there are a lot of young people who already have some fear, or they may feel like they already are walking into the space with some biases about like their own personal lived experience. Like, what type of training would you think in preparation would young people need to be able to sit in this space?
I think definitely training with learning how to handle situations that learning how to handle situations of like de-escalation and like all of that, because sometimes it gets a lot when you're a young person and you're trying to, grow and like teach more people about stuff. And I think that a lot of the time when we're trying to teach young people about police, it can get really skewed, especially now because of all of the, bias that young people have towards the police because of social media, because of the news, because of, etc. So I think that just training on, I don't know, like being with the police and kind of seeing how they operate and trying to understand them and trying to just join those two forces, so then you can better, feel more comfortable to work with them.
Thank you for that, Darwin. I'm going to go on now to my questions for Matthew Allen, and for Edwards, you'll be happy to know this is my last question. Is that okay? It's just, or am I already at my time?
Please just make this your last question.
Sure. So Matthew, the issue of trust keeps coming up, and people have a hard time trusting the government, especially trusting in the police. Feels like a all-time low. And how can we get people to trust that this board is actually going to look out for them?
That is what I spoke to with the community nominating process. If there is a way to involve, civic organizations and in nominating members of the board, so that it's clear that this is not just a bunch of figureheads. I know that would not be true even if the council nominated everyone, but it's a matter of appearance being reality in politics. I believe Atlanta, Baltimore, and Newark all have boards where there is some community organizations, some civic organizations involved in that process. And, I think there will be, when this board is up and running and we're able to have those periodic quarterly, if not monthly, public sessions where people are able to speak and these statistics are presented, that's also going to go a long way towards building trust in the community. As you know, and as I mentioned, the ACLU has worked for years to get the Boston Police Department to regularly publish their stop and frisk data. We got it a few years ago after threatening lawsuits, and then it was supposed to be published regularly. Still has not gone up regularly, so we're looking into that again. So I think that is, along with what Yvonne cited, the issue with the link being down process. Before, the link was not down, but it still says commend. The link says commend an officer, not complain. So that's also kind of misleading, I think. to the community. So I do think this board is definitely a step in the right direction, and with those policies in place to involve the community and increase transparency, that's gonna help build and heal relationships with the community.
Thank you.
For that. Thank you, Councilor Edwards, and I just want to let you know that Councilor Arroyo is in the house.
I know. Councilor Flaherty, and then Councilor Arroyo, if you wanted to kind of give some brief thoughts and questions and whatnot. Councilor Flaherty?
Thank you, Madam Chair. No questions at this time. Just want to thank the panel members for their time and attention, and was interested in their thoughts and comments.
Thank you. Councilor Arroyo?
Thank you, and I apologize for being late. I had a small family situation. I'm gonna go ahead and look over the tape on what I missed. I see that is this panel 2 or panel 3?
This is 2 and 3.
Oh, 2 and 3 together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you can give me a second just to get myself settled, and then I'll call you right back. I'll then, if you call on me, I'll then go. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Bach? Oh, excuse me, Councilor Braden, my apologies.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. I just had one quick question that we touched on briefly. There's a lot of data being collected, especially in New York. I was wondering if the data is actually being used to inform changes in policy or training methods within the department in New York. As a sort of a feedback loop, is there a feedback loop that will analyze the data and then help inform practice to improve policies and procedures?
Is
she still here? She might be gone.
She may have gone.
Yeah. Well, that's just a question. We can follow up another time. I'm sorry I have to jump off for another call, but thank you so much. This has been very informative. Thanks to all the panelists.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Bach.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes.